I taught microphones at UCLA for 10 years near Hollywood. You're going to have to give me a second because I want to post on Facebook and I want to post on Twitter, the feed. And then we're going to talk about, I've got like 20 microphones. Look at this. I've got like 20 microphones. Right now, I just got to place a link onto my Twitter feed so people know to come here. There's my Twitter. All right, that looks good on Facebook there. Okay, I'm gonna leave my Facebook open so I can read stuff. Sorry. I haven't talked all day. I've been working alone in the studio. Okay, so I'm gonna go live. For some reason, when I hit the live, I go my live on Facebook. My phone doesn't do well. It's a Galaxy S5. Doesn't do well. I just got bad news. A very close dear friend of mine who I respect and love has liver cancer, and that's it. He gave me a Tupac shirt that he left here. Okay, I'm gonna go live on my Facebook. It goes choppy on there, but for some reason, when I click on it, people start viewing. So I'm gonna refer them to this link here. I'll stop doing that as soon as I go live on Facebook here. Okay, let's uh, talk about microphones with multi-platinum producer engineer David Rain Banta. Oh wait, shit, fuck that up. Sorry. I'm trying to go live on my phone. For some reason, when I go live, it's really choppy. But when I do, a lot of people log in. As soon as I start talking about mics, I won't stop. Now I'm gonna start shaking my legs. Okay, I'm almost ready. For some reason, when I go live, I'll stop doing that when I start talking. For some reason, when I go live on Facebook, a lot of people log in and watch. Um, I have to comment on here and tell people get this Facebook. Uh, if my Facebook Live is choppy, look on my timeline. timeline. Line. I'm gonna turn this video on YouTube. Look on my timeline. uh, I'm simulcasting from my laptop. Okay. Hey everybody, listen. I know this is probably choppy on here. I know it's probably choppy on here. Um, So what I'm doing is I'm simulcasting from my laptop, which won't be choppy. So if this is choppy, if my Facebook feed is choppy, go to my Facebook wall, and you'll see I'm simulcasting uh, on my laptop, which is not choppy. Just click on it. I'm doing it through Google Hangout and YouTube. So if this broadcast is choppy, go, hey, what's up, Jason? If this broadcast is choppy, in fact, if this broadcast is choppy, go to my Facebook wall. I'm simulcasting from my laptop, and that won't be choppy. Okay, let's talk about microphones, people. I'm all set up. I can share the web. I can share, like I can go into, I'm all set up to show, you know what, Jason? I'm set up to show pictures of your 414 microphone. I'm set up right now so I can open, I've got a web broadcaster open here. I'll just show. Uh, I've got a web broadcaster open right now, and I can share. If you go and look on my timeline, I'm going to share it like directly on there. You'll on the Facebook Live. I just turned the camera, but on the other feed from the Google Hangout, you'll actually see the whole browser. So let's talk about microphones here. I'm going to look at some really basic microphones here. Okay. When I taught at UCLA for 10 years, I left there for a couple of reasons. I was working for Fox Sports, composing the music for NASCAR, and that and some other things was taking up my time. And my 10-year contract with UCLA was up, so I left. I wish I didn't because now everyone I know is gone. But when I taught at UCLA, the course that I taught at UCLA, if this is choppy, I'm simulcasting on my laptop. The course I taught at UCLA was based on a video series that I made in 1994 called The Complete Guide to Home Recording. This was before Windows 95 was out. And I had read an article on the cover of the LA Times. I'd like to go back to the archives and find it, where they said there was like 60,000 or 600,000 home studios in LA County alone. And this was before, like I said, before Windows 95 came out. And and I'd never heard the term home recording before. No one I knew had heard the term home recording before. And I was working full time at a studio called Echo Sound. I was working with Tupac and Cube and MC Ren. And, I'll talk about this on different broadcasts. But I was working professionally with big artists. And I had read this article on the cover of the LA Times that said there was like 60,000 or 600,000 home studios in LA County. And I thought, man, if I made a video series, an instructional video series, this turned out to be the biggest thing I ever did. I thought, if I make an instructional video series, and if I could just sell them out of the trunk of my car, teaching people home recording, then maybe I can get a steady income. So it was a real hard learning situation back then. It was before computers. So I ended up getting a 3/4 inch camera and 3/4 inch video decks. I want to talk about microphones, but anyway, I ended up self-producing. I'll make it short. I ended up self-producing a video series entitled The Basics of Home Recording, which got picked up for distribution, and it went to 4,000 music stores in the U.S. And until they stopped selling because DVDs don't sell anymore, it was the standard in the industry. And so UCLA hired me in 1996 to teach a course called, they told me whatever you want to teach, because my video series was in every music store. For 10 years, my video series was the only video series in the music stores in the U.S. And so I said, well, why not teach home recording? They had never heard of it yet, but my stuff had hit all the stores. And Windows 95 had just come out, and it all took off, and my stuff had just hit the stores. Like, my video came out in 94. It was the greatest thing I've ever done. Then Windows 95 came out and everybody started doing home recording. And then I got hired at UCLA in Windows 96. And of course, they said, whatever you want to teach, you're the biggest thing in the US. And I was for 10 years. I said, let me teach home recording. So the first thing I had to do was I had to create a 12-week, once-a-week curriculum, and it had to go through all of the music instructors at UCLA, and every one of them had to sign off on my curriculum before. If you're losing connection and it's choppy, go to my Facebook wall, and I'm broadcasting from my laptop there. It's not choppy or not. Just go to my Facebook wall. There's a different feed from my laptop, and it doesn't lose connection. It's a good feed. So I came up with this curriculum, a 12-week, 3-hour lecture, lab a week, mostly lecture a week, called The Complete Guide to Home Recording. And I created a 12-week curriculum, and it went to all of the music instructors, 1996. This would have been, all this went down quickly. They said, you got to get us the paperwork quickly. We got to do this quickly because I taught my first class at UCLA was September of 96. So this was the summer. This was the August of 96. And I quickly wrote my curriculum, and I have a degree in music education from the King's College. So I knew how to write a curriculum. I learned how to do that in college. And it got signed off by all the instructors right away. If they hadn't have signed off, I wouldn't have got to teach that maybe at all. And they all signed off on it right away. So the course I taught at UCLA was for 10 years called The Complete Guide to Home Recording. And it was designed, I'm going to need to drink a little water, a 12-week course designed. Home recording was brand new in 96. And it was designed for professional adults in Hollywood. These were big film scores, big recording engineers, big music producers who were just starting to read up in 96 that you could do a professional home studio. And I had this video series in 4,000 stores in the US called The Basics of Home Recording, and it turned out to be a wonderful course. And so I'm actually going to teach the first like part of the first class here. And this was the course that I taught for 10 years. And we're going to talk about microphones. But this was the course that I taught. Real short. I'll do a little 10-minute. Uh, I'll do a little 10-minute. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to keep going with my feed from the laptop because I lost connection. I lost connection on here. But I'm going to keep going because this is going on to YouTube. So hopefully some people will see that and they'll log on. If not, I'm going to trim this. Okay, here's where I'm going to start. This is where I'm going to trim it on YouTube, starting from here when I do this with the microphones. Hi, my name is David Banta, and I taught a class at UCLA called Home Recording for 10 years. It was based on a video series that I made in 1994. I self-produced called The Basics of Home Recording that went to 4,000 music stores in the United States, including all the major chains. Sam Ashton Guitar Center gave my video series full pages in their Christmas catalog. And UCLA asked me, I was in 4,000 stores. I self-produced a video series in 1994 called The Basics of Home Recording. The video series ended up going to 4,000 stores in the US, and all the major chains carried it. It became really hugely popular for 10 years until instructional DVDs stopped selling. And then UCLA asked me to teach just because I was so popular. And I decided to teach a course called The Complete Guide to Home Recording. This was in 1996 when Windows 95 had just come out. And I'm in Hollywood. I'm a full-time professional engineer in Hollywood working with huge artists like Tupac and Ice Cube and MC Van and different groups like that, and huge artists. Take That, Robbie Williams, and I self-produced this video series called The Basics of Home Recording, and then I designed a course, a 12-week course I taught at UCLA for 10 years called The Complete Guide to Home Recording, which was basically the first 5 years. The course was designed for professional adults in Hollywood uh, who were just discovering home recording was a new term, and they were just discovering that you could do professional recordings in your home. And I had this hugely successful, hugely successful video series in all the stores in the U.S. called The Complete Guide to Home Recording. So I designed a 12-week course. I teach this online, by the way, this 12-week course privately in classes and in weekend seminars. It's a complete crash course in engineering for professional adults, musicians, songwriters, artists, all that. And so we talk about different types of microphones and how they actually work. I'm going to show like a little bit here. This would be, let's see, this would be, anyone can see, my 12-week home recording course is a crash course in recording engineering that is based on the 12-week course I taught at UCLA. And here's the beginning of it. Sound is vibrations. Sound is vibrations of my vocal cords, which cause vibrations in the air, which cause my bathtub came unplugged. I think I'm going to do this another time. Uh, Too many problems.